priorities for the offensive line after you had the injury, but you guys have held together. How have you done it?
I don't know. I think just shows that our offense line's resilient, tough. We look adversity in the eye and we just say "F you." We're gonna do it.
Can I get that in the paper?
Yeah, yeah.
Josh, you guys have played a lot of the country's best defensive lines over the last 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Is there a sense like there's nothing that can surprise you anymore, or you guys feel like you're better prepared maybe than people would have expected based on who you played?
Yeah, I think we go into it trying to be the most prepared team. I mean, with this front in Notre Dame, we just watch them and they just play really hard and they play really tough. And it's going to be a good challenge for us because I think they're the toughest team in college football. So that's just my opinion.
What did you see from last year's version of them to this year's that's different, or what do you think is similar?
I think last year and this year's version are, I think, similar because they play just relentless. Everybody's flying to the ball. Even though that they have a couple injuries, guys step up and they look really good as a defense.
Josh, when you're watching film, what tends to stand out more? Just sort of generally, what tends to stand out more, like really good individual talents, or a team like Notre Dame that just plays with the kind of relentless effort that you're talking about? Like, what when you watch a team?
I think both. I mean, I think both. I think first you watch the defensive line and watch how they play, and then you compare it to, I think, other teams. But at the same time, you can't compare this team to another team because I think this team plays really hard, but also that they have good technique and good skills out there as a defense as a whole to just wreck a game.
Josh, the last few weeks, your offensive line, guys are coming in and out. People are still having to contribute in different ways. What's grown? Where have you guys grown the most and changed week to week, just even in the last 3 weeks?
I think, I don't know. I think we've grown closer as a unit than I've ever seen before. I mean, I've been here for 5 years and I've been on a lot of offensive lines. I think this is the closest one we've had by far. And it just because I think of the adversity that we've overcome to get to this point. And like Coach Day said, there's a story still to be written.
Josh, what impresses you most about how Donovan's moving out to tackle?
It's impressed me a lot. He's a really good football player, as you can tell. It's going to boost him in the NFL when he gets there, and it's crazy to see how valuable he is to this team.
Josh, you and the rest of these seniors obviously came back with this being the end goal. So how does it feel to finally be on the doorstep, having the chance to go to the national championship game?
I'd say it feels like a dream, but at the same time, I think you just take it day by day. You can't look forward to the game. You have to have a good Tuesday practice, have a good Wednesday practice, have a good Thursday practice, and just make sure that those days are complete to where you can build up to that game and see how you're going to do in the game.
When you are at this point in the season, this far in, what are the biggest things you're working on in practice to get yourself ready for that game?
I think it's more just mental, just seeing what the defense is, what their scheme is, and then also just making sure that you have the right technique for those defenders and stuff like that.
Josh, I was talking to Donovan last week when y'all arrived in Dallas, and just talking about how all of you guys are hurt in some form or fashion. It has been a grind, hasn't it? I mean, just playing. What can you give me any insight on what's kind of hurting for an offensive lineman right now?
Yeah, you'd say everything. I mean, we hit on a daily basis all the time, so you could have knee pain, ankle pain, you could have headaches, you have shoulder pains, you have hands, wrist, thumb, anything. But I think it just shows that we're willing to do whatever to play.
That's what I'm saying. What's driving you right now? I mean, what is it?
Win a national championship.
Yeah.
Win a national championship. That's what's driving me more than ever because it's a memory that'll last a lifetime if you go and do it.
There are times when in the past about the era of the transfer portal, and you wish players had more patience. Your one game left. How would you say your patience has paid off?
I think it's paid off. Playing for a national championship. If you were to tell me that when I was 10 years old, being a starting right tackle at Ohio State, I would say I'd say some cuss words at you and and tell you to go away. Not that much, but yeah, it's Indiana, so yeah.
There are times when it looks like you're playing on one way. I mean, how much are you really just gutting this out?
I don't know. I guess you could say I'm gutting it out. I don't look at myself more than I'm just looking inside that huddle during the offense when we're calling a play, and I'm like, I gotta do it for these guys. Put so much in for them.
Being an Indiana guy playing Notre Dame,
Yeah.
Indiana school, is that making it more special?
No, Notre Dame didn't recruit me when I was going out through high school. But I don't have any ill will against that. They didn't think I was a good enough football player. So at the end of the day,
And that's no motivation?
no, I don't think that's any motivation. I don't look at it like that. Maybe that they recruited different guys in classes, but I don't look at it as any ill will.
Every single person I've talked to this morning is like, oh my gosh, we're so tired. We're all exhausted. How in the world are you guys finding the mental strength to rest and recover over and over again? Like, what has this week been like, Monday, Tuesday?
Yeah, I think it's good. I think it just shows that it's like an NFL style season. I mean, it's crazy to think what we're in week, was it 16 or 17? And it's just I think it prepares you for the next level more than ever because it's basic. I wouldn't say it's the NFL, but the playoffs and all that stuff. It's kind of coming together as the NFL.
So how are you recharging and getting?
Sleep, going in the training room, spend hours in there, then go in the film room with a ice pack on or stem or something like that and start watching film. I think it's like a 24/7 thing that you always got to keep your body right to make sure that you're ready to perform at the level you want to perform at.
Well, yeah, Chelsea, was losing Seth the bottom point for this offensive line from the standpoint of coming back, of return, of figuring out another way? I mean, explain that day to me and where y'all have come from that moment.
That day was an oh shit for me. It was just to see where he went from the winter time to being the guy who wouldn't talk anything and being All-American Remington winner. Yeah, it was a dark point in this season for us as O-line, but I had confidence in Carson right away. I mean, he played 12 games and he did fine. I thought he did fine in those 12 games, so I had complete and utter confidence in Carson.
Yeah, is he one of those, well, not diamonds in the rough because he played all last year, but that had to come through? I mean, explain, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it just shows that centers, guards, tackle, they just need time. Time to – I mean, you're not going to do amazing your first season unless you're, I don't know, Michael Jordan or something like that. I don't know. But it shows that it's just a development, and, I mean, our slogan is developed here. I mean, just to see him come from last season to this season, it's completely different.
How has Justin Fry helped you develop over the last 3 years for that kind of a different offensive line coach?
Yeah, Coach Fry is a great offensive line coach. He knows what technique to use on every single play. He busts his ass for us. Even though people give him hate all the time, I don't understand. I don't see why. He's a great human being. He just wants the best for us, and I think that's what you see at him every single day. Is he's trying to push us to be the best for ourselves.
What do you think of the job Luke and Austin and Tegra have done kind of rotating on the interior there?
Yeah, I think they've done an unbelievable job. And it just shows the selflessness of all three of those guys, because Tegra was starting for the season, Austin was left guard, and then Luke jumps in there. But those guys haven't complained one bit of, oh, I want to get more playing time or something like that. They've been selfless, and it's amazing to see.
Yeah, after the Cotton Bowl, Donovan Jackson said that Jack Sawyer called him and recruited and tried to get some of these guys. What do you remember about Jack's role in trying to get everyone to come back and do this one more time?
Yeah, I knew I was coming back, so that there was no no recruiting for me. I was kind of on the outside of that because it was only my first year playing or first year starting. But I just remember just the fire in Jack's eyes you see, because Ohio native, Ohio State guy, literally the Buckeye, I call him, and it's just the fire in his eyes of, hey, we can do this. We can go to a national championship and play for it. We just have to have everybody come back, and it was awesome to see. Thank you.
Appreciate you doing this.
Thanks, guys.